Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Xaereth Prevails. I won't lie to you guys, I actually tried a couple different takes of trying to yell at you guys, like I keep seeing in other YouTube videos, and I couldn't do it. I'm like, not capable of it. So, uh, you're welcome, or I'm sorry. I can't tell whether that should be an apology or what. But, just a fun fact. So, we all have Jedi Luke, right? Okay, that's false. I know that a lot of people don't, but a lot of people do have Jedi Luke, and it is time to start working on some off-meta counters because everyone hates Supreme Leader Kylo in Grand Arena and in Arena. And there's a good team to do that with Jedi Luke. We're going to use Jedi Revan. We're going to use other characters, namely 3 of them. You guys will see all of the stats, all of the mods, all of the methodology. We're going to even show you a variant of all of this, and it's going to be a lot of fun. So I hope you can forgive me not yelling at you, and let's move into the actual components here, and we can start domination and stuff. Before we get started, just want to give a huge shout out to my patrons. You guys are amazing. Really, really appreciate all of the help. You guys actually helped to fund this set of testing and everything. I've also been testing all sorts of other comps that all of my patrons have access to exclusively in my unlisted video list, and you can too if you want. So check out my Patreon if you would like. It's in the video description, and let's actually move on to the video now. Alright folks, so let's go over the mods real quick. I don't want to dwell on them too much, but first I want to let you guys know that all of this modding strategy, this modding order, is all actually coming from research that Clash and his friend did. They made a video of it. I'm going to link it in the video description, and I have changed my methodology a little bit from what they are suggesting, so keep that in mind. But these speeds are taken directly from them, so I did none of the researches on speed and turn order. They did. That being said, this turn order and speed is very, very important. Now, I don't think you need to have these exact numbers. Old Ben might actually be just a little faster than you need him to be, though my results have gotten a lot better since I sped him up. He used to be around 220 speed or so, and I did put on some better mods, so that helped. Luke, his speed is actually pretty unreasonable. It doesn't look like it's fast. It's actually the slowest on the squad, but I have a very good mod set on him. He can stand to be a little slower as well, at least for this particular matchup. Once we get this squad to start killing gosh, she's not even a Jedi, she's not in training, she's just Rey. Once we start killing Rey with this squad and General Skywalker enters, you're going to need speed on Luke that goes very close to what General Skywalker is, and so this is what speed I ended up on based off of that. So otherwise, these speeds are pretty good. The higher the speed, the better in my opinion. You need Jedi Revan to go first, Hermit Yoda to go immediately after, Bastila Shan. You guys will see the turn order in effect here in a little bit. But the turn order is very, very important. So if you need to lower your speeds a little bit, I get it. I mean, it's going to have to be fine. You'll probably end up with fewer banners, and this methodology might have to be changed just a little bit for your special needs. Okay, so speed obviously matters. You want optimized mods on all of these characters, obviously, but the ones that I care most about here are Jedi Luke and Old Ben, and the other ones are important. Like Bastila would love a little extra potency if possible. Jedi Revan would like a little bit of extra protection, etc. However, the only 2 that are vital here that you need to make sure you're getting right are Jedi Luke and Old Ben. So Jedi Luke here, it's pretty typical. You want crit damage set, offense set also works, but you want crit damage on the triangle. You want crit chance if you can. And so this set actually, because it's not an offense set, it's still a pretty high number. My offense is at exactly 9,999. So It's pretty decent. Obviously, these mods are pretty good. I showed them to you guys in a video previously. These are good mods, and you can afford to have them a little bit slower. However, your team is going to do a little worse the slower you are. Speed is a very important element to this because Supreme Leader Kylo is really stinking fast, and he gives his entire team plus 30 speed because why not? So, the next one I want to show you guys is Old Ben. And Old Ben can be a little slower. You can see they're not 6E mods or anything. He does like protection a little bit. He needs to live through a few hits from Kylo, certainly. Clearly, I don't care as much about his modding because, as I said, none of them are 6E mods. I do have speed arrow on him, and then I put a potency cross on. You can see that I have 4 potency mods, so 2 potency sets, and that all told just gives him like somewhere in the 70s or 80s for potency. I forget now. It's not super high, but the important thing is he is able to give potency or use potency to on his mind trick. You need to be able to ability block Supreme Leader Kylo and company consistently, and that team isn't known for its high tenacity, so it shouldn't be much of a problem. But it is way, way better if you have a little bit of potency on Old Ben to make that happen, because sometimes that ability block is all you have. So I'll show you guys that in a minute. So let's actually jump into some real footage and go from there. All right, so we're going to do some freeze frames here, guys. The first thing that happens is Supreme Leader Kylo goes because he is ultra fast, and Red Trooper assists. They kill Revan. They always target Jedi Revan, and they would kill him, but then Savior triggers on Revan, and so everything is happy. It looks like nothing actually happened, and like we have first turn, but Savior is actually popped. So the first thing that you're going to do, you need to pass the turn to Luke. So you do for the first special, and Luke gets to go. Now, the reason why it's good for Luke to have as fast of speed as you can on him is that means that Jedi Revan will have more turn meter, because they swap turn meter here, and he'll have more turn meter so that he will go sooner after everyone else goes. So that is important, especially in relation to all of the First Order characters. So you pass the turn, and Luke stuns everyone except for Kylo, though he does debuff Kylo a little bit as well. Now, if you have all of your team clocked properly, Hermit Yoda will go, and so we're zooming in just a little bit so I can show you guys this. This is kind of for advanced players a little bit, just because the formulaic move for Hermit Yoda is to just give everyone foresight. You need his Zeta. You need to hand foresight off to everyone, because Kylo's next move is going to be his AoE if possible. Sometimes you're going to be able to get ability block on him with Old Ben, but you need to be ready for that AoE just in case it doesn't land. And so what we're looking at here is, you can see Kylo, you can see his ultimate bar. It's barely filled at all. It's the little bar right underneath the turn meter bar, and you can see the little mark. It's like almost directly underneath that blue bar for him to get his ultimate, the first stage of his ultimate. And that's kind of my rule of thumb. If it's a really slow Supreme Leader Kylo, then his turn meter won't be very full compared to that. If that blue bar is at that first little yellow line, then you need to put foresight up. That's not an option. If he's slower than that and his turn meter is not quite that full, you have a little bit of wiggle room, and you will maybe be able to just do Jedi's training on Luke. But for the most part, you're going to be doing foresight up on everyone. That is a deviation from what a lot of other people do, but I've found that it has increased my success rate dramatically. Alright, so we're doing Master's Training here, and then Bastila wants to give her big suite of buffs to Luke, so he starts hitting really hard. Jedi Revan is going to direct focus on Hux, and that's just to increase his cooldowns, just in case he gets a turn. We don't want him handing another turn to Kylo or doing anything else ill-advised. Now, Luke is going to actually attack Kylo and have Hermit Yoda assist to give turn meter to Jedi Revan. Jedi Revan goes, and He's doing something a little bit sneaky. So there's a mark on Hux. There is a taunt from Kylo Ren unmasked. But he ignores both of those. He can target who he wants. And so he's going to target that red trooper who is hiding behind everyone. He has like full health and protection. But because Luke has all the buffs right now, he has the Jedi's Will buff that he just handed off to Hermit Yoda as well. So that makes him stronger. Bastila just gave him offense up and other things. And now Revan is going to call him to assist, so he's going to hit harder. And you're going to, if you have a Relic 7 Jedi Luke, you're going to one-shot Sith Trooper. I believe that this Sith Trooper is Relic 7. Even if he's only Relic 5, that's fine. Relic 7, it makes no difference. Luke in this stage will actually one-shot any of these characters besides Supreme Leader Kylo. He hits that hard. So you're going to hit Red Trooper and take him out, and then use Master's Training from Hermit Yoda to target and take out Hux. Now, with Bastila, you can try to stun and dispel and ability block, but when Kylo does his AoE, that cleanses, so it can be ill-advised or not, as you will. You can see that Luke does not give any concern whatsoever for how strong and resilient Kylo Ren Unmasked is. Revan goes again. He hands the turn over to Luke. And you can see Old Ben is dead. That's fine. Everyone got buffed from it. He's expendable, unfortunately, but that's what he likes to do anyways. So Luke can now use the Revan lead special to call someone to assist, and Revan hits harder than Bastila, but Bastila does something very important. She ability blocks. So something you need to ask yourself over and over and over again in this match is Supreme Leader Kylo ability blocked? You really need to make sure that he has ability block on him, because without ability block, he is going to do a lot of damage. So, that said, you're going to call Bastila to assist way more often than you call Revan to assist, because it's not about the hit points. Luke takes down his hit points. It doesn't matter at all. And what matters is what abilities are Supreme Leader Kylo using. What abilities is he using? I don't know what the right word for that is. But one way or another, you need to make sure he's only using his basic, which is hard enough, but you want to make sure. So you call Bastila to assist. We got ability block on him. Great. Now, I did take a slight deviation there. Did ability block on First Order Officer, who's just hanging out. We don't want to take the chance that he's going to dispel Supreme Leader Kylo, but now, of course, Supreme Leader Kylo is dead, and First Order Officer is left quivering in his boots. We ended up with a pretty strong win, and now let's move to another of this, a variant of this, just with a faster Supreme Leader Kylo. So, once again, Supreme Leader Kylo kills Revan, and then it's covered up quickly by the fact that he is Savior. We get the stun off, and now we're going to zoom in one more time. You can see the turn meter on Kylo. It is even farther past that little rule of thumb line. And so we absolutely need to put Foresight up from Hermit Yoda. There's no question. Supreme Leader Kylo is going to get another turn pretty soon. We need to make that happen. So Hermit Yoda puts Foresight on everyone. Bastila buffs Luke. This time we're hitting First Order Stormtrooper, who is actually better, in my opinion, on this squad than Kylo Ren Unmasked. And then we're going to mark Hux. Hux never dies. Kylo gets a turn before we can use ability block on him, so he dispels all the debuffs on everyone. We're in a dangerous situation. We do not want to kill Hux here. If we kill Hux, that will dispel ability block on Red Trooper, and Red Trooper will go crazy. He'll do an AoE, and we will die. So don't kill Hux here. Keep him alive. He won't take a turn. We need to keep him alive. We can't target Red Trooper, so we're going to instead just target First Order Stormtrooper, call Hermit Yoda to assist, so that will give us more turn meter, so that Jedi Revan can go sooner and help Luke go and kill Red Trooper. So Luke, once again, you target First Order Stormtrooper, not Hux. Don't want to kill Hux, even though it's tempting. He's annoying. So we hit Stormtrooper. It's a little bit tense because Stormtrooper counters and he can call someone to assist. And if it's Kylo, it can hurt. However, we did manage to kill Red Trooper. Now we can send Bastila. Sometimes he's weak enough that Bastila can just finish him off with a basic. I didn't do that. I just didn't want to risk hitting First Order Stormtrooper and not stunning him, because if you don't stun him, then he could, once again, like I said, he could assist, or he could call someone to assist on his counter, and if Kylo is called, then bad things happen. So, now we've killed First Order Stormtrooper. We want to mostly focus on Kylo. He has the ability block right now, though. So we will go and stun First Order Officer with Bastila. Now we focus everything on Kylo. And once again, he does not have ability blocks. You call Bastila to assist. Hermit Yoda just gives a little bit more turn meter. Bastila has a turn. She can call someone to assist. Of course, Luke is the one you want to call, and Jedi Revan gets the kill. And First Order Stormtrooper, or First Order Officer, is real sad once again, which is wonderful. So we get another win. This time, Old Ben actually lived, despite Kylo being a little bit faster. Just because of the turn order and everything, Kylo didn't actually get as many turns hitting Ben. So got pretty good banners there. So now let's try the variant that does not have First Order Officer. Instead, it has both tanks. And people say that this is a harder version. This is the version that I kill most in Arena, and it's not really that hard in my opinion. So do the exact same starting sequence. You can see I have my cursor pointing at the rule of thumb line. This is actually during one of my streams. I haven't published it yet, so you guys are getting a sneak peek. I'm showing everyone the rule of thumb line. We put the foresight up. This is actually in a Grand Arena match for the record. So now we're going to call Luke to assist to hit Stormtrooper, because like I said, Stormtrooper is more dangerous. When Revan goes, he's going to hit Hux. They're going to dogpile on him. And now we get ability block on everyone from Old Ben. And we don't want to kill Hux. Sometimes you can kill Hux here if you want to get a little crazy. But we may as well just hit First Order Stormtrooper, call Hermit Yoda to assist to give turn meter. Now Revan goes. You're going to thread the needle, so to speak, between all of these taunts. There's like 3 taunts out of 5 characters. You're going to hit the Red Trooper, take him out. Now Bastila is going to try to finish Hux. That didn't quite work, so we'll train Jedi Luke to go and kill him, even though it seems like that big hit was a waste. Now he's ready to one-shot characters, so he just one-shot First Order Stormtrooper, then he one-shot Kylo Ren unmasked, and we still have our full team. That's probably not going to last, but you can see we're calling Bastila to assist because Bastila has ability block. And now, remember how I said that the question you always want to be asking yourself is, does Supreme Leader Kylo have ability block? And usually the answer is, no, he doesn't. But in this case, Bastila can do something other than her basic with ability block. She can use her Dispel special. Now, the thing about Kylo is he will regrow his advantage if he gets it dispelled. If he doesn't use it on someone, if he doesn't hit someone with it, then he will just regrow his advantage. But if you put buff immunity on him, you can both dispel his debuff or his buffs and get buff immunity on him so that he doesn't have advantage. So next time he hits someone, it will not be as hard. And luckily for us, fortunately, Bastila actually has an ability that does that. So in this case, that's what we're trying for. And the buff immunity doesn't actually land. Luckily, Jedi Revan does also have a buff immunity that is not dispellable. Kylo is naturally super angry about that having happened to him, so he takes out his aggression on Old Ben, and poor Old Ben doesn't take it so well and dies. So 56 banners is pretty good, in my opinion, taking out a pretty strong Supreme Leader Kylo team. And now let's actually jump into a Watt Malak version of Supreme Leader Kylo. Now, this version of the Malak team on Supreme Leader Kylo is, in my opinion, the most difficult, because you can see that Luke was able to stun Malak, but because Watt has put the taunting tech onto Malak, then Malak just dispels that stun right before it's his turn. so it doesn't actually do anything, and so he'll just continue to taunt. You have to just deal with him before you deal with anyone else. You want to keep Supreme Leader Kylo from taking his ultimate. That's our goal. And with Malak, this Malak comp, he gets pretty close. Sometimes he actually does get it, and sometimes we have to just weather the storm. So in this case, let's just see what happens. So we want to kill Malak as soon as we can, frankly, because he's just going to cause a lot of problems. Now you see I almost put the Master's Training onto Luke here. Luke can't be feared, so you can still take this comp out, but it can be tricky. So Bastila called Luke to hit Malak. It didn't really seem to make a dent. Once again, we're trying to hit Malak and do damage. It's not doing super well, honestly. So once again, we're trying to just do damage, get Master's Training. We have all of our buffs on, and finally we just take Malak out. And now there's no taunters. There's no one with taunt. So now we can actually just put ability block onto Supreme Leader Kylo whenever we want. We do want to make a slight deviation and kill Hux when we can. But as you can see, I called Bastila over to try putting ability block on. That did work. And now we stun First Order Officer. We want to be mindful of the fact that Watt can go at any time and dispel things. So we need to be working on Kylo. I did make a quick deviation and just kill Watt, though. And I kind of paid for that. Supreme Leader Kylo made a slight deviation and killed Jedi Revan and Old Ben. But now there's only these two guys, and we can hopefully just keep Kylo ability blocked. Luke can actually tank quite a few hits from Kylo if it gets into one-on-one. So it's a little bit messier with the Malak variant, but it's also in Grand Arena especially, it's a messier squad. So got the win there. And now, guys, I'm going to just show you guys real quick a variant for this squad. It's an important thing to be considering your squad compositions, of course. And of course, with this version of Jedi, it's very difficult because Grandmaster Yoda suddenly doesn't have a home. He doesn't have a squad he can live in. And a lot of matches, I actually end up not using my Grandmaster Yoda at all, which is a travesty. My good friend Ando, and I'm going to leave all of his information in the video description if you want to check out his Discord server, his Twitch channel, and his YouTube channel. He's come up with a cool variant using Shaak T. I don't know if he's come up with it, actually. I know he uses it. I don't want to misplace credit. If he did come up with it, then awesome. But he knows this counter very well. And I'm just going to show you guys one video of what he's doing. But it's a pretty cool variant, and it leaves Bastila to be able to lead some Jedi, including like Jolee is being left out, Grandmaster Yoda, etc. So it gives him another squad. This does have a much higher degree of RNG to it, though. So keep that in mind, and let's take a look. So we've already seen a bunch of the video, but the thing that's really interesting about Shaak T is she can do things like force taunts onto Old Ben. She can call and assist just like Bastila can. She can give her whole team offense up just like Bastila can. So there's a lot of cool stuff that she does. She doesn't have ability block, which is probably the best thing about Bastila. And really, when I've seen Ando use this, usually it's about like this. You lose a couple characters. So it does work. And frankly, guys, I don't want to do any discredit to Ando. He has a way better. I don't really know his exact strategy, so I'm not going to do a play-by-play. If you want more about this variant, go check out his Twitch channel, check out his YouTube channel. He's got a lot of good stuff, and ask him on Discord. So all that stuff is linked in the video description, as I've said. And anyways, guys, this has gone a little too long, probably. I know that people prefer like 10-minute videos, but there's a lot of good info here, I think, a lot of necessary stuff. This counter is extremely, extremely reliable once you've practiced it enough. I have not, honestly, genuinely have not failed it for several weeks at this point. So Very reliable. Once you start getting into some of the weirder variants of Supreme Leader Kylo, then yes, it can have some RNG to it. But in its more pure form, this team is quite amazing. So anyways, I will leave you here finally. Thank you all so much for watching, and remember that in all things, Xaereth prevails.